Hello, hello. So, today we're going to be doing some analysis of Shuton sets. We've got 3 sets to look at. First one is him versus Hakadama, I believe is how you say his name. And that is the Lucas player. And then after that we've got one versus him versus Hikaru, Donkey Kong. And I know a couple people struggle with Donkey Kong just because he can kill you really easily. And then we have his set versus Raito. I'm not 100% sure how any of these sets go, to be honest. I think he wins against Hakadama and Hikaru loses against Raito. But I'm not too sure, so I'm gonna be going in here with a little bit of a blind eye and just kind of trying to pick out important things I notice that I see. But yeah, give me 1 second, we will get into it. Turn that down just a little bit. Alright. So I think they're just taking a minute to decide on where to start. I'll probably skip ahead. They start game 1 on FD, so right from the get-go, I guess I'll start talking about general stage selection I like to go about when I fight Lucas. So Lucas is a character where I think the matchup's even, but it's one where it can get a little bit out of hand just because Lucas is very like poke heavy. He constantly prods you with attacks until he gets his opening, and then he grabs you into a confirm, or he ledge guards you with like a back air, forward air off stage, or down smash on the ledge or something like that. But a lot of his game plan is like fair, zair, PK fire, up close, jab, down tilt, things like that. He's got a frame 2 jab, I believe it's a frame 3 down tilt, and it's similar to Ness where it's very low cooldown, so it's spammable. I actually believe it's safe on Olimar's shield. Like, you can't punish his down tilt. You can get away from it before he grabs you or things like that, but since I believe it is -2 on shield, if you shield drop in -9, you don't actually have an option fast enough with Olimar. Your fastest option being frame 4 jab, and then any aerial, your fast option would be, he has a 5-frame jump squat, so it's frame 12, and that would be a fair or an air, because those are frame 7. You can try and, like, if he down tilts your shield, jump out and fair, but generally you just want to get out of there. But going back to the stage selection, since you have Lucas who kind of wants to prod you consistently, it's like fair, zair, these are all PK fire. When all 3 of those options are done, they're safe on shield. Zair has no lag, fair is safe enough, it does enough shield damage or shield stun to cause you to be caught, before you can do anything like that. And then PK fire, it's he slides back with it. In addition to that, a lot of Lucases like to jab when they land immediately with their after their zoning option, so they'll like fair you, and then you're already at frame disadvantage in terms of what's safe on shield. And then they immediately go into their jab. The jab is frame 2. Their 3rd jab is not safe on shield. It's very punishable, but a lot of times players try and drop shield early to punish something that you just can't punish. So a lot of the time you're better off holding shield or rolling out after the fair. And things like that. So for the stage selection, I'm not sure where they struck, but I think FD is a good stage for Olimar in this, because you want to force that distance between you and Lucas. When I fight Lucases, I try to respect them in a similar way to how you do with Ness, to where he's got some threatening hitboxes up close. You're not able to just like brute force your way through him. His up air safe on shield, his fair safe on shield, his I think his bair might be safe on shield. I think his nair is safe on shield if he is facing you after it because of the jab he has. But generally, in addition to that, he's got the faster grounded options with the frame 2 jab, the frame 3 down tilt. Generally, you don't want to be around that a lot. So you're going to be what I try to employ is a lot of side B pressure to kind of make him come in, do something to get a Pikmin off, expose himself in a way where I can, alright, I get my fair, I get my grab, let's get damage, reset. You can't go totally in on him. And I'm interested to see how Shuton is going to go about applying that strategy, maybe a different one. But he seems to have a similar idea in terms of giving himself distance with Final Destination. Because the closer you are to Lucas, the harder it is to get away from him. Because he's going to be fishing for these grab follow-ups. So let's see how it starts out. Kind of just feeling it out. Shuton. Oh, one sec. I'm actually going to do this. I'll close out of that. I'll just put that on some background noise. Just making sure my computer runs everything properly. So it's kind of just feeling it. You see how he's not he's not trying to like go in too hard. He's like, alright, I'll take my hit, now I can retreat. You know, like he wants, like right here, I'll go back real quick. What is it? It's 5 seconds. Either way, you'll see. Alright, so he's pressuring right here, and he's going in, and he keeps trying to force his way in, and that's something you have to be very careful about with Lucas. You know, he gets his jab, then he gets hit with his air, and then he keeps trying to go in. He jumps and nares, and Lucas zones back, and he hits him with that fair. You know, he's got that nice range on that kick, and that's because once again, Shuton's trying to force his way in, and that's something that you have to be careful about with Lucas, because he's able to carry his hits very well. You're gonna see in a second, he's gonna combo that first fair into another fair. You know, you don't, you know, you need to catch Lucas slipping with his attacks, because head on he's gonna beat you, obviously because the Pikmin clank, but just because the general safeness of his moves. You don't win against Lucas by, you know, challenging him head on. It's a lot of barely making him miss his mark and then getting your punish window. I believe that's supposed to be a dash grab. Down throw or back air. Yep. Goes for one down tilt into another. Not trying to do anything too committal. Just want to try and poke him and get get some damage. Maybe put him in a different position. Gets the grab on the shield. So how do you go back? Just the 5 second one. Oh no, that's not what I want. That's fine. Did I go too far forward? Alright, that's fine. I'll go back. So you're gonna see right here, like I was saying, how that Nair is normally safe on shield against Olimar because he can jab you. With Shuton's positioning, you see that the Lucas is facing away, which means when he nairs, it's all of a sudden safe now. You'll see this right here. I don't think I went too far. Did I? Alright, here, let me find the exact scenario where it is. Either way, what I was saying was that, like, since the Lucas nairs him, but his back is facing after the nair, Olimar is able to drop shield and punish because the Lucas is facing the other way, so he can't get to him in time. Gets a grab. DI's out, takes the fair. I think that's fine there. Generally, you just want to, take your hit. You're not at the down throw up air kill % yet. And when you are, you just need to try and mix up your DI and hope they mess up, because generally there's not much you can do. When you get around the 100% mark, around the high 90s, low 90s, depending on their rage, you want to shift your playstyle to a more, I guess, hit and run, more movement base. You don't want to stay in a place too long because they're going to start fishing for that grab very heavily. It's going to be a lot of like zairs, a lot of, jabs down tilts into getting you just to where they want you so they can get that grab, because once they get the grab, you're dead. So it's a lot of just like side B, down tilt, fair, run away, and you slowly rack up the percent until you find your kill. Right here though, you see Shuton gets, he gets down throw, he gets fared. And this is something I've had happen to me, and it's really important to do when you're fighting a Lucas. Shuton just got fared, right? He flew back. So normally your first thought is, I need to cycle my Pikmin, I need to, make sure I have them get what I want ready for next. But what Lucases like to do a lot of the time is they'll jump up and they will PK fire where you're falling. And since you're too stuck on handling your Pikmin at that time, you get hit by a PK fire. And he almost dies because of it, because he's at a relatively high percent, like high mid percent. But if he would have been a little bit higher, he might have died because of that. It's happened to me as well. You can't focus, against Lucas specifically, you can't focus on rearranging your Pikmin when you get hit at that angle, because when you're drifting down, he's just going to shoot out a PK fire. And that can end up costing you your stock. See? Right there, because he was too worried about throwing his Pikmin and recovering and all of that. Gets a forward smash. That was a bad jump from Hakadama. I think he could have probably just done a regular get up, to be honest. You gotta be really careful when you're jumping against Olimar like that, just because, F smash lingers so long at the ledge that it can get really dangerous just to hang around there too long and try and do something risky. So right now, what Shuton should try and be doing is just getting light hits, slowly picking up his percent. Like, I like what he's doing right now. He understands, he's like, can't. You want to, like, he's threatening with the positioning because he's got the purples and all that, but he's not making it his goal to just constantly run in and hit buttons. It's more positional pressure and side B, and that's what he wants. See, he's just trying to sit right outside that range because one grab and that stock's gone, and he's able to get his hits slowly because of it. Yep, Hakadama is really fishing for that aerial, that grab right now, because he doesn't have any other options. But Shuton was able to just consistently sit right outside his range, like I was saying in the beginning of that set, and let Lucas kind of whiff those hits, barely, and then get his hits and keep pressuring up. The double purple really allowed him to kind of push that even further. He's got an additional set of pressuring tools with side B with purple, just how hard they hit. Back air, he's already threatening. Hakadama's kind of... He's not tunnel visioning per se, because it's kind of hard to say exactly what his thought process was. But his first response is, I need to kill Shuton right now. I need to get rid of that rage. I need to get rid of those purples, and the best way to do it is to kill him. And you saw that he goes for an up air, he goes for the Zair, and he misses these hits quite a few times. And then, Shuton's just like, all right, let me keep getting my hits. And then he catches him at the end there. I think he was going for a Zair, and then it ended up F smashing him. You can't do that. If you have an Olimar or anyone pressuring you for that matter, and you notice you need to kill, like you're really trying to kill them, you're down a stock, and it's not working, you need to immediately do everything in your power to just disperse the pressure, reset the neutral, force the space between you. Olimar can kind of push that advantage state really well, but with Lucas's speed, I think he could have probably maybe done like a rising nair or something like that, and just been like, get off of me, and then run away from Olimar until he can get his footing again and figure out how to get in. For this, I very much imagine Shuton bans Town and City. I know I banned it against Lucas. It's just not worth it. He's got down throw up air. That'll kill you even earlier. He's got up throw. That'll kill you even earlier. Though once you hit like 90, the fact that you can just die to a grab on Town and City, sometimes even earlier with Rage, it's just you want to make it harder for him to kill no matter what. Like the stage layout is really good for Olimar just because of the length, and you can use the platforms for additional juggle opportunities and things like that and help landing. But survivability is the most important thing in this matchup, because when you do fight Lucas, it can get out of hand so easy. It can really spiral out of control. So you want to have the stage be working in your favor as much as possible. So it goes battlefield here. I think this stage is pretty good for Lucas. triplats in general, Battlefield, and them in Dreamland, they're a bit more condensed than some of the bigger stages, and they don't have to worry about the tilt of Lilat. So I think this stage kind of makes sense for Hakadama in this case because he doesn't want Shuton to be able to get away and outrange attacks. He wants to be able to put out as much pressure as possible. I know, I recently played against Lucas. He took me here game 2 after I won game 1. I think while that can work, you have to be careful because thankfully Lucas does approach with very horizontal based pressure. He doesn't have to do like a jump Marth swing where it's like a very diagonal attack, or it's a large arc. It's like Fair goes this way, Zare goes this way, PK Fire goes this way. They're very horizontal attacks, so it can work well. You just have to be careful because Olimar can juggle pretty well on this stage. He can catch landings pretty well with up airs, poking nairs through the stage to get your platform pressure ready. The thin ledges allow him to down smash and down tilt your up being tether to the ledge easier. So there are a few things that doesn't, in addition to the obvious blast zone, increase with the ceiling, which gives Olimar a little bit extra survivability, which does make a difference a lot of the time when you're playing characters who are like this. But overall, I think this is probably one of the better stages for Lucas. I think it would be more beneficial if Lucas players were to invest in learning how to really maneuver on Dreamland, as that stage, lower ceiling, similar formation of platforms in the wind can be a bit more annoying than us. But I think this stage is still good, so I'm interested to see how Hakadama kind of used that to his advantage. You see Shuton just sitting back. He just wants to get the free percent. You can't go in at the wrong times. You can't just like, I'm gonna go in now because that's gonna cost you. All right, so 1 second. I'll start from the beginning. You'll see what I was talking about with some of the aerial safeness from Lucas. So they're going to go in. Shuton goes in here. He gets hit by his air. I believe Lucas goes for an F tilt now. Yeah, he goes for the F tilt, gets hit. And then they're kind of feeling themselves out again. Shuton retreats back a little bit. He starts getting ready to hit with the, he starts side being. And then they both whiff aerials. And then he goes in for a back air. And you can't punish Lucas back air. It's safe on shield. So he goes for a grab, which is actually foolish here. I don't believe in any spacing situation where this grab would have worked. He should have just held shield after that, because then he ends up getting hit by a nair, which leads to a fair, just more of those Lucas combos. So you got to be really careful on which aerials from Lucas you're trying to punish. Just knowing your stuff about the character is going to take you a long way, because you're not gonna be whiffing bad moves against him. Down throw Robert, yep. Just trying to get that free damage. I personally would have kept that yellow just for easier edge guarding, but Shuton has been known to, he's very adamant with his dislike of yellows, and that's perfectly fine, As long as he's able to make his gameplay work, that's the most important thing. Right now, just ledge guarding. Lucas can be a little bit tricky to ledge guard. He's got that. You can just see right there. That's a good example of how absurdly long his tether is. That's almost the entire length of the Battlefield platform. You can try and do stuff. You can down smash him. You can down tilt his up B to the ledge. Down tilt's a bit easier to hit. It's got that nice disjoint and it's not Pikmin based, so it won't clank a lot, or at all. So those are good ways to do it. But I think sometimes it can be important to go, okay, I didn't hit him when he grabbed the ledge. Let's retreat back center stage. I have the percent lead. He has to approach me. Oh, it's not that long, Nemo? Okay. Alright, well, apparently the tether hitboxes are not that long. It's still rather decent in length. Just, I guess, not that long. Also, how's it going, man? But what is it? So if you notice that your first or second attempt don't work on hitting Lucas when he's recovering to the ledge, you kind of play a dangerous game right here in the scenario where that you see Lucas jumps his airs, Olimar's in shield right there. You're fighting. You're back in that scenario where you're fighting a character with just better frame data and boxing options on a lot of different scenarios. So you have to be careful. You have to be like, all right, if my options don't work and I'm going to sit up here and fight him, am I ready to deal with his quick lagless options in a lot of scenarios? If not, I recommend running back to center stage, throwing your Pikmin, making him come to you, making him start whiffing those attacks again. That's gonna, that's gonna make the entire kind of dynamic of the match reset, and it's gonna give you that advantage again. If you're going and doing this option where you're up close and you're fighting, you have to be ready to not waste any movements, to not flub anything, to know exactly what you're doing, exactly how to respond to his options, to maximize your punish windows because they're very small. Hey, Delta. How's it going? Alright, so let's see what happens. Get some back air. That's this that kind of goes into what I was saying, how he makes the Zair whiff. And he, Shuton had that confidence to go in there to fight him, to be like, all right, when he is ready to whiff, I'm going to be here and I'm going to punish him, with a hard hitting move. The moment he's messed up, I'm there to act. And you got to have that confidence and that precision for the moment he messes up to be there. See, he's just jabbing. It's so good. Another example of Shuton throwing his Pikmin. He wants to try and lighten up his line, get a little bit off, make it easier for him to recover, keep his Pikmin. And he does that and he gets PK fired. You have to be careful when you're at that. When you're falling like that, when you're lower than Lucas, you're fine. When you have a lot of room to do it, you're fine. You can maybe get one off. Be very careful because those PK fires not only get the damage, can kill at higher percents. It's just it's just frustrating as well because now you get hit back and now you probably have to burn more time and more Pikmin throwing them away because you're farther away and you have to have the maneuverability so you don't get back air, you don't get down air, things like that. See, you want him. He wants that. He's got the rage. He wants the down throw grab. He started fishing for it a lot. Like I was saying, he got in that percent. You saw how his entire game plan changed. Before he knocked him off stage and hit him with that PK fire, a lot of jab. I just want to get you disoriented in the air, get some damage. And the moment he hit that threshold, he's back on stage. It's like grab. I want this grab. This is my entire focus. And what I would recommend, especially on a stage like Battlefield, is if he's going to start forcing that grab onto you, just like when yes, this is Nemo. All the sets I'm watching today, I've not watched at all. I'm pretty sure I know the results of them. Like I'm coming into this totally blind. I'm just analyzing it as I go. When they're going for that grab, if you have the platforms, retreat to those. Give yourself a little bit of breathing room. Obviously, you can get grabbed on a platform, but it's a lot harder for him to do it. Buy yourself some time to really get an idea on how he's approaching and allow you time to develop a plan on how to fight him. Maybe use certain spacings. Prioritize having that purple Pikmin in front. So if you notice he's going to go for a grab, you throw you can like run in. So you're both here. You're running in. This is Olimar. This is Lucas. Lucas is running in to grab. He goes for his tether grab. You throw the purple Pikmin because you know he's going for that grab. He grabs you. Purple Pikmin breaks it. You reset. You get a little bit of damage, and that's your goal, to constantly just whittle him down until you get a real good idea on when he's going to go for these grabs. You can start punishing them. It all goes back into that, making him whiff and then punishing those small windows on him. Gets the back air. I like how he goes out there for the fair. He's just trying to really pressure right now. That that's something Shuton's really good at. He likes to go aggressive. He likes to kind of put his opponent in a bad spot. But he got a little too aggressive, and his opponent managed to get one hit, which led into a big combo. Lucas is very good at stringing his stuff together at early percents. Yellow, perfect example of the yellow, like I was saying, on that thin ledge. He is really good at mixing up his grabs, but in that instance where he grabbed Shuton, it was so obvious. He whiffed one, I think it was, and it was just so clear that he wanted it. Like, you can't, it's not even, but it's better to get jabbed, Nemo. Because you're not going to die from a jab. If you want to keep swinging, you want to hit him, that's fine. Let him jab you. When you're at kill percent, when you're at 90-something, he's got rage. Down throw is way more, impactful than getting jabbed. Or even fighting away where neither of those are an option. If he wants to empty hop, run away. If he wants to, kind of mix up what he's doing, jump back, side B. Don't let him, alright, he airs you, great. Now you're in a different spot. You reset. It's a different dynamic. You might not necessarily be in an advantage state or anything like that, but you're not dead. But alright, so this is what I was talking about. With that yellow, how he uses it. He goes, I think he back airs, and then he gets that perfect down smash. Like I use my mouse pointer to show right here where my mouse is. He was about here, And that yellow down smash goes perfect tipper, model extend, or the hitbox extends to the stage. Lucas's model's kind of extended to the stage, into the stage a little bit. It's that perfect example of using just that extra range on the yellow, especially those thin ledges, to be able to just hit your mark right when other Pikmin won't do it. And that's something that I think a lot of Olimars don't really see with yellow Pikmin, and those are the scenarios where you can really maximize their use. And he gets rid of it. Classic Shuton fashion. Dash grab is very risky. I think sometimes you got to tell yourself not to dash grab in this matchup just because it can kind of cost you a lot just because there's so much lag on it. Rar up air, he really likes those out of his down throw. Gets the grab. Once again, now he's going to start looking for these grabs. He wants that down throw up air. He's entered the kill percent. You know, that's why you see him kind of sitting back more. He wants Shuton to have to come to him. You know, he's playing to his strength right now. It's just like, I'm going to tap you until I get my hit. Good down smash. It was a yellow, so it's not going to work. Is he going to get the down air? He's not. The hitbox on that's so big, it's really hard to hit with it on the 2-frame. Honestly, Shuton's playing it pretty good. He's weaving around him rather well. And just slowly racking up the percent. Like, the deficit's gone now. He's in the lead. And this is where it's hard, because you see, like, Hakadama now has to approach. He's noticing that him sitting back is just costing him the game. He's lost all of his lead, and now he's approaching. He really wants to get his grab, just his one hit, get his air or down tilt into grab or something like that. He goes for the jab. Right there, he went for the jab, and then he tried to read the roll back to get the grab, and ended up missing. You know, Shuton didn't panic. He was like, that's, you know, it's fine. You know, Shuton was like, it's fine, I get hit, it's whatever. He's prioritizing not getting grabbed, which is what you have to do in this matchup. Yes, Zair goes through everything. Zair beats all Olimar Pikmin. I mean, I don't know if it's transcendent, but it's a disjointed hitbox with no hurtbox. So I mean, it doesn't, and it's aerial. It's an aerial technically, so it doesn't clank. Shuton won game 1. They just didn't update it, and Shuton gets the back air there. So that was a good example of saying what I was talking about earlier. How Shuton kind of focused on when he was down in the percent. You know, Hakadama kind of played a bit more passive and tried to run away and force an approach from Shuton. But I think that might have ended up screwing himself over, because it didn't seem like his method of running and kind of playing around like that was super efficient. It was more like run, I'm never getting an opening. You know, Shuton slowly racking up percents based on catching my movements on these platforms. You know, like I was saying, Olimar can juggle at the beginning of this game. Olimar can juggle pretty well on platforms. He can catch the landings. You got to watch out for that. But he ended up just giving Shuton all of this time to just get the percent back, get the lineup he wants. You saw he has the 2 purples right there. Until the point where now he has to approach because he has a percent deficit. But at that time, Shuton he's already on the prowl. He's already looking for his kill, and Shuton already knows Hakadama's win condition. His win condition is get the grab. Obviously, there are other ways he can kill, but that grab it's the front and center point of most Lucas mains when you fight them. It's like, I have to get this grab to kill. Hitting a straight hit is so much harder when you've got a short man, you know, moving around, throwing out a lot of hitboxes himself, trying to make it difficult. And because he was so focused on that, it's just like when you play Olimar and you have that blue, you can't tunnel vision into that, because if your opponent knows you want it, they're going to do everything in their power to play around it and punish you for wanting it. So this is a best of 5. I believe all 3 sets are best of 5, because everything after this is later in the tournament. Short man. I mean, he is a short man. I'm gonna get back to Battlefield. I guess Hakadama's just feeling a bit comfortable in his stage pick. He didn't. It makes sense. I mean, it wasn't too much till the end where it really ended up costing him. But if he changes up how he approaches certain aspects of it, he'll be fine. That was a good bait. You know, throws the white. I think the F smash was a bad choice. He definitely should have jumped fared, maybe onto the platform to avoid the grab. Have you ever played against Shuton? Yes, I have. I played with him for about an hour straight of Frostbite. In Olimar Dittos, and then I did doubles with him at that same tournament. Alright, so you see he gets the hit here. He's just pressuring. He's like forcing Hakadama back because he's kind of scared of taking the percent too, and that's giving him a lot of leniency. And then it's like he's really pressing forward now, and you can do that against Lucas or any character for that matter. When you have that hard pressure and you're really pushing your advantage state, that's where kind of Olimar, one of the areas where he really thrives, just knowing when to do it. Integrating, like you saw, that power shield in there. Power shielding is such a good way to just force your pressure down. Like, characters can't grab in the air, and when they do, they have a lot of startup. No. Which fair, Nemo? Are you talking about the one, Hakadama did? Well, it's power shielded. That's why it was unsafe. So let me go back. Get back airs him. Then he up airs right there. He up airs, he gets power shield, he gets dared. Just pressuring. He's got Hakadama scared, and that's fine. You don't like, he grabbed the purple there. That's perfectly fine to do. It's all about keeping the advantage up. You don't need to kill until he's ready, until he falls into your kill move. You can't force it. So he's just like, Shuton's just saying, all right, that's fine. I'm gonna get my hits. I'm gonna keep doing damage. I'm gonna get you in a bad spot. Doesn't up throw, and I think that's really important there. I know a lot of Olimars, I see them before that when he was on the ledge. Give me 1 second. I'll go back and look. A lot of Olimars I see up throw when they're not at kill percent. No, you don't need to know your exact kill percents for these characters. I don't know exact kill percents for literally any character. I don't know when up throw kills. I don't know when down throw or bears is the confirmed combo window that'll kill or whatever. I have general ranges in my head, and I know how rage usually influences it in blast on size. But that like I said, you don't need to know the exact numbers. Just have a general idea of when it works. At least, so that you can know, all right, he's at 130 something. Yeah, he's Lucas, but I don't have any rage, and we're on battlefield. Back throws the most damage you're gonna get from this. It's 15 with a blue. Go for that. You get stage position still. Now your blue throw up throw is gonna kill. Like you put that. Now it's a kill option. You don't. You're not. Staling, it's not a huge issue, because usually when you stale blue up there right outside of kill percent, it puts them into kill percent, even with that one stale or whatever. That one stale, one spot in the stale queue. But generally, try not to up throw if you don't know it. I mean, if you're obviously, you'll make the mistake sometimes. I do myself, but just don't be afraid to just back throw. If you're not 100% sure. Right? You said nah before that when he was on the ledge. What side of the stage was he on? Do you know? Oh, I think this might be what you're talking about. Was it that fair that he did where he backed up? Because if so, no. Lucas's fair is, I think, +3 on shield. So Olimar just can't punish it. And then you see how he retreats back down here. Shuton, right side, he was at like 40. That was unsafe because Shuton crouch canceled it. And he was at 0. So it had less knockback due to the crouch canceling. Hey, Chemex. Alright, let's get back to where we were. So you're just getting this thing, gets the back throw there, knows up throw isn't gonna kill. That's perfectly fine. Back air, that killed. That was a really good back air. Even with the blue, like, it was strong enough because he was at 140 something before hit. Notice how Shuton jumps away, and he immediately drifts back to the ledge. And this is something that's really important for Olimar players to understand, because a lot of times you'll go, I struggle to land. You can't, if you're going to try and land on somebody or on the stage, you need to have a game plan, whether you're attacking them, whether you're whistling or whatever, and be ready to implement that plan on a moment's notice, and mix up the timings if it doesn't work that first time. With what Shuton did here, which I personally think is a great option, he immediately goes to the ledge. He's not at kill percent. He doesn't want to put more damage on himself than necessary, and he feels there's a comfortability that at least I have on the ledge, and I feel he has a similar feeling of right now, and that it's Lucas isn't going to do much to me on the ledge. I'm confident in my ability to get off of it, and that's something that you have to have with Olimar. This is going to, this at least, not only makes, changes the dynamic, so it's not a vertical juggle, it's now a ledge trap situation, things like that. but it also buys him time to think of a better plan. You know, that move from, you know, drifting to ledge, grabbing ledge, waiting out your invincibility, all that, that's all time where you can be evaluating your plan. After that plan, or it allows you to evaluate yourself and go, all right, I need a plan, I need to change things up. What is he looking for? What is my kill percent and things like that. Going back to what I was saying, that first game, just kind of sitting right outside his hitbox range. He just wants to poke, and get light hits with every whiff that that Hakadama does, because Lucas, that's the best way to beat him. You can't challenge him head on. That was a great grab, because he knew, because like he power shielded, but I'm pretty sure, even unless he did a turnaround jab, maybe a turnaround down tilt, anything else is gonna get power shielded by Hakadama. So he just was like, all right, if you want to shield, that's fine. I'll just run and I'll pivot grab you. It's going to cover that. You're probably not going to act immediately after because you think I'm going to punish off my power shield. So that was a great play by Shuton to know, like, the next tier of option that Hakadama was thinking of and be able to get the grab. Nope, my bad. Gets the weak forward smash. Goes out there. He's pressuring again. Great nair. That beat the nair. There. Bad dare spacing, but it was alright. He ends up getting... Hakadama gets a bit greedy and tries to go for that back air, and then ends up costing him because of the way he DI'd it. And now Shuton's just running away. He's got over a stock lead. You know, Hakadama's really desperate now. He's trying to force his way in with the Zairs and things like that. And you see Shuton constantly running away, sitting right outside of his range. It's just like a recurring theme that Shuton uses so beautifully in this set. It's just constant adjustments in height and length between them, making Lucas unable to hit him, and that's what makes it. Like, I think this matchup is even. Lucas has really easy ways to kill. He's got a lot of safe shield pressure, things like that. He's hard to gimp, but what Olimar can do is just weave around him really well if you know exactly what you're looking for. And once you're able to do that, you can really. No, the miss input up B. Maybe. He's probably getting flustered to an extent. I mean, when you're down an entire stock, you're at kill percent, and you've got an Olimar with 2 purples and a red kind of brute forcing their way in, it's much more likely that you're gonna panic or you're gonna do an accidental input or something like that, because you're so, like, the nerves are really getting to you, because you're like, all right, I'm about to lose here. I really need to do something now. But that is the first set. The next set will be Shuton versus Hikaru. Donkey Kong. What changes you'd like for Smash 5? I would like... I mean, I like the Smash 4 engine a lot, so it's hard to say without, like, major changes I'd like. Change how auto-link angles work, so people don't pop out of them and die super early, especially with Rage. That's a big one. If you're going to make DLC, keep it in line with other characters in terms of design philosophy, because they were made absurdly more powerful in a lot of areas for no reason, and it doesn't really match the rest of the game. Don't make characters... Like, it's okay to give characters bad moves to balance them out, but don't make a character who's meh with a bad move. Like Samus Jab, for example. She's like an alright meh character, mid-tier, but then she has one of her best boxing options, or theoretically best boxing options if it worked, gutted because it's bad. Don't do things like that. Just more uniformity and character design and balancing properly. But I like most of the game how it is. Also get rid of like untechable spin and not being able to tech when you're too close to a wall. So, Donkey Kong is one of those characters where I think Olimar wins it slightly. Obviously, Donkey Kong can ding-dong you pretty easily. He can also go decently far out there with the back airs to gimp you or kill you off the side. But Donkey Kong, in theory, should have such a hard time getting in and such a hard time landing that it should make Olimar should win. But because Donkey Kong, if the Olimar messes up or if the Donkey Kong mixes something up or whatever, and the Donkey Kong grabs you at like 60, you can die. That allows him to equalize it very well. I mean, it's the same thing with Bowser. That's just how they work as characters. They have big flaws, but they just need to hit you like 4 times and then grab you and then you're dead. But realistically, if you play it right, that's going to be very difficult for them. So, I guess before they start, stage-wise, I generally like long stages to run. I would ban, like, if we were to ban initially the 2 stages I would ban would probably be Battlefield and Smashville. Now Town and City can work for him. It obviously lets him kill earlier, but I think if I'm fighting, unless I really know the Donkey Kong well, unless I know the Donkey Kong player really well, I'm going to want a room to, or I'm going to want a stage that gives me room to run and evaluate their playstyle and their boxing options and how aggressive they are and things like that. Generally, I'll shy away from, like, unless I know they're really good at getting ding dongs. I'm gonna not ban Town and City. I'd probably ban Triplats, just because that's a smaller area than to box me in. It's a lot easier to get grabs on those platforms, things like that. While you can juggle them well and catch their landings pretty good on like Battlefield and stuff, it's that double-edged sword, and it depends on how comfortable you are fighting them up close compared to if you need the room to run or not, like on a stage like Town and City. So they start Battlefield. I assume Shuton has confidence in his ability to kind of out close quarter combat Donkey Kong and weave around him and catch the landings. Gets the grab, just quick. Interesting. 0 to 40. He gets his down or cargo throw up into uppy. So what you see here is Hikaru immediately kind of set up on that top platform. Because he wants to force Shuton to come up there because that's going to make his ding dong killer. It's going to help his, help him force Shuton into a bad spot because it's really easy for DK to grab you out of like, an aerial or something like that. But he comes down, and I think that's because he notices Shuton is kind of like going in a position where he can get his lineup that he wants. He can get in the lineup he wants, and he's slow, and he's getting a spot where he can throw Pikmin to the side and get him onto that top platform. So I think Hikaru goes down there to start pressuring him and not let him get exactly what he wants, because that's important when fighting Olimar. Gets a side B into the grab, into double up air. I like Shuton, how he's not trying to push too far forward. He's not going, alright, I need to pressure on this top platform when I don't need to, because that's really unsafe. This is a back and forth. They keep like hitting single hits and then whiffing. That's why that happens. That won't hit too much rage. Well, not too much rage, just out of the percent window. Thankfully, Olimar's got a pretty lenient ding dong, or like, yeah, it's lenient. I think it's only like 4 or 5%. Catching him with that down B there, I really like that. You saw, let me go back. So like Hikaru, he throws him up, and he kind of tries to stick on Shuton the entire time. He frame traps him that, and then it's just like hits him, and now he doesn't let up. He keeps going out there. He just wants to force him into a bad spot. He doesn't want to let up the pressure because he knows he can go out there. He can cover that horizontal distance really well. Goes to the back though because there's no down throw follow up off that blue down throw at that percent. Goes to the percent. Good whistle. Goes to the down throw or bear. Not gonna kill. This is where it can get a little tough. That was a really good down tilt. I think Hikaru needed to go a bit more low as opposed to horizontal on that. Disgusting combo. Oh my gosh. You gotta be careful when you're trying to ledge guard Donkey Kong off stage, just because it's difficult to hit. No, grab. That was such a great jab back throw from Hikaru. But the general theme of that was also, what are DK's invincible tilts like versus Olimar? Just like, I mean, they'll still clank. It's not, the invincibility doesn't make a huge difference just because against anything except like maybe down tilt or nair. Um, Also, what was a frame trap? Are you talking about the nair to up tilt that he did in the center stage? Because that was a frame trap. He did a couple. But what I liked about what Hikaru did here was he took that small stage, which provided him good mobility, like in those short bursts. Because Donkey Kong's relatively fast for a heavy character. And he's using that small stage. Oh, the bear to B. Yeah, I think it was. But he goes to that uses those short bursts of mobility to stay on top of Shuton, and Shuton's trying to fight back, and it's very hard because he's clanking. He doesn't have a good time to get his foundation, and that's one of the reasons why I recommended not doing the stage. You want the room to run. You need to be able to force your distance away from Donkey Kong, because when he's up close, he's going to hit you very hard. He's going to have a good time. He's got safe tilts. His down tilt's great. His up tilt's a good anti-air. Back air's a fantastic, poking option, things like that. You have to be careful. So I think the stage ended up biting Shuton in the butt a bit more than he initially anticipated. And that was due in part to just Hikaru's great use of the stage, his mobility on it, how he could constantly stay on top of Shuton and keep the pressure up. So I imagine Hikaru's banning FD, which is a good good answer. Go Smashville. I see why, he's not gonna want to go Town and City. He wants the room to run, but he doesn't want to die earlier, which makes sense. You just gotta be a little careful on Smashville. The platform can allow Donkey Kong to get a little bit additional pressure off stage when it's out there as well, but it's the next best thing to FD when you don't want to have that ceiling issue of Town and City. Starts the pressure immediately. I kind of like that. Hikaru played that really well. He was like, all right, you want to just side B or something? That's fine. I'm just going to run in, dash attack. I'm going to start applying pressure if you're going to go for non-knockback based damage. So don't always, sometimes it's fine to throw a Pikmin. Be ready to immediately hit them when you're fighting. Something I like to do, so I'll be fighting a Koshik, the Greninja in my region, for example. And let's say game 1, I win. In game 1, he started out with some shuriken camping, right? And I know that for game 2, he's going to play more aggressive. So the game will start, and I'll immediately run, and he'll run in, and he'll try and do his jump aerial approach, and I'll run and I'll anti-air up smash him. Because I know he's going to want to change his approach option for this game. He's not going to want to sit back and let me throw my Pikmin. He's going to want to try and force his way in and do things like that. So kind of understanding how your opponents are going to change their approach options and how they're going to adjust their aggressiveness between games is a really important factor. And you can use your previous game's experience and the result from that and how they interacted as a way to get a better understanding of how they'll change their options. Look at that. Shuton's just trying to run away. He wants to get his Pikmin. Biggest thing is getting the space between him and Hikaru so that he can get his footing and get his damage back. Triple up air off down throw. I really like that. Bad roll. Thankfully, Ding Dong did not work. Great cross up air. Up air can confirm into or nair can confirm into up air like that. So that was a really good combo by Shuton, kind of just getting that extra damage and knowing it was going to be safe regardless if he missed that nair. Got to cut down on those dash grabs. Those are really risky. And against a character like DK, especially at the ledge, that can end up costing you because his horizontal kill power is really great with back throw. Perfect example. Back air, things like that. You have to be very careful. Another good example of why it can be tough to edge guard Donkey Kong because the up B's got so many easy hitboxes. That'll kill. So he's nearing Ding Dong percent. I think it's about another 9 to 10% window, assuming no rage. So Ray Hare, what he needs to do is he needs to start getting rage on Hikaru in playing around jab grabs and regular grabs because Hikaru's looking for those. You saw him do it earlier. He went for jabs. And now that the rage is there, this is going to change the dynamic. Like, Hikaru focused so much on trying to get the initial thing that he let Shuton get in and start playing his aggressive game. And that was such an important shift that allowed Shuton to take it back. Because, and this kind of back to that first set with Lucas, Hikaru narrowed his field of vision to, I need to get my ding-dong, that he didn't allow himself options to prevent Shuton from attacking him. He was so concerned with that grab ding-dong, jab grab. I think that was a zero to death. It was... You can't tunnel vision like that, or you're going to cost yourself. I know ding-dong is an important thing for Donkey Kong, but let's go back and watch that entire setup. We're gonna so I'm gonna go back from when he comes out to the Angel platform. All right, so he just kills Hikaru. Let's watch how Hikaru tries to fight Shuton and how Shuton's able to shift the dynamic of the match to one where he's now the aggressor and he gets to call the shots. Alright, you see there, he already goes for 2 grabs. It's been maybe 3 seconds. He's gone for 2 grabs already. That shows his desperateness, right? 3 grabs. Right? Shuton knows this. He goes, you want to grab? That's fine. I'm going to punish you for wanting these grabs. He goes for the jab. A jab would have confirmed into grab. Another good example. He lets him whiff that jab because he knows grab is relatively lagless if you whiff it, so it's very hard to punish. You don't want to risk it. He whiffs that jab, though, and he's like, great, pivot grab. Now I get my damage. Alright, you want to come down? I'll throw out an option like Nair, short hop Nair. If you do anything on that ground, it's going to cover your air spot dodge, it's going to cover your air dodge into the ground, it's going to allow me to cross up on shield. It's going to allow him to put out a long lingering hitbox that not only covers these defensive options, but also allows him to get a combo started because of the way Nair works. See, now he's got Hikaru in there. It looked like he was going for another dash grab or a standing grab, some type of arm extending hitbox, which ended up costing him. Gets the pivot grab on that, gets an up air. He goes for a Nair. He knows at this point Hikaru's like, alright, I need to land with a hitbox. But unfortunately, Nair's hitbox is so contained. It's like that small spiral hitbox where he moves his body. It's very easy to, alright, you hit a Pikmin, let me just pivot grab that real quick. Let me catch that landing. You're in a spot where you're having to land, and this is where Donkey Kong struggles. He doesn't have a great, back air is fantastic for behind him, but everything else is kind of bad. Nair's very contained. Fair has long startup and hits like in front of you. Dare also has long startup and has a lot of lag. Shuton has taken Hikaru's own greed in this matchup and is using it to his disadvantage, and now Hikaru's panicking because he's in a spot where he has to approach, but he doesn't have. It's hard to approach when you're at such a massive disadvantage and your opponent's already in your head. That was such a fantastic turnaround by Shuton for understanding how much Hikaru wanted that grab. And that's why you can't tunnel vision with things like that. If your character has something it's the same thing with Olimar, with down throw, raw back air, with up throw, you can't let that become your focal point of gameplay. You have to find a way to put that on the back burner and naturally integrate it into your gameplay and trick them into falling into it. I imagine I don't know if they have DSR in Japan. If they do, I would ban Town and DSR triplats. That is true for NES as well, yes. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go because I'm not sure if they have DSR. If not, I imagine he's going to ban Town still, and then they'll just go back to Battlefield or Dreamland. Yeah, it seems like they don't have DSR. Better stage for Donkey Kong, in my opinion. It's going to help him kill earlier. I will say that it can be a bit easier to outmaneuver Donkey Kong on this stage due to the change in platform lengths between them and things like that. So it's a little bit more spread out compared to Battlefield. Just Sharky with some air pairs. He kind of just wants to put out a little bit of pressure, not too much. He knows Hikaru's kind of going. He wants to try and shift the dynamic back into him, right? Hikaru just went and took a big lead from last game, And now he's trying to go, all right, that didn't work. Now I need to force my way in. I need to put him on his back. I need to put Shuton on his back foot so that I can regain my composure and take the lead back. Solid sharking. Up throw. Hikaru should have DI'd that out. Ooh, that was a great down air, back air. I think he hit the dead zone on that giant punch. So that was pretty interesting. I liked that. Right there, he threw the blue side B through him. And that kind of baited out a response. You'll see here in a second. He throws the side B through him, and what that does is that allows him to immediately get the purple while he's crossing him up to hit the back air. Because people respond more so to immediate actions as opposed to what's actually happening, because it's not humanly possible to perfectly react to things right as they happen. You have to make general assumptions. And one of the nice things about Olimar is when you side B, people will assume that that's an attack that they need to deal with, which allows you to force them into shield or scare them into an option where you can then punish, like he did with the blue side B into the purple back air. That was a good nair. Divvy air dodge would have got dunked there, so solid nair by Hikaru. Does he want to start wanting this up air? Goes to the F tilt. I think that was a pretty good attempt. He wanted, he knew the up air was kind of threatening at that point because of the spacing, and he was like, all right, I'll just try and catch your air dodge with this F tilt. Weak back air. Solid forward smash. I didn't expect Hikaru to run in there, but I see why he did it. He probably didn't expect the up smash. This right now, what's happening? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Jab and a perfect pivot up tilt. But you see how Shuton's really abusing the platforms to get his sharking ability in to get combos, things like that. DK's get up options are really bad, yeah. And Olimar is really good at being able to, like, they're slightly made better by the fact that he can at least clank with Pikmin in this matchup, but it can still get super dangerous just because of how we good. I'll go back a little bit. Just because of how the Pikmin will clank. Just confusing. No problem, Gracolore. Just doing some analysis. Yeah, you notice how he keeps going to that top platform because that's where he wants to keep him. Because that's where you can get really dangerous. He jumps out immediately after, which was important to not get the regrab. You know he wants that down throw or back air. Shuton does. But he's not focusing on it. He wants it, and it's good, but it's not. He's not letting that be his focal point, and that's important. He can't get too greedy up there because if he does, he'll die. Like, it's fine to let him go up to that platform until you have formulated a proper approach. Yes, I main Olimar. I'm the fantastic backer. I'm the best Olimar in the US, so I'm doing some analysis of Shuton, the best Olimar in Japan. Back to Battlefield. What I would assume Hikaru thought was, okay, it's not necessarily the tri-plat formation that worked game one. It's the condensed layout in addition to the tri-plat formation. But what I think is going to give, what I think gave Shuton the edge in that last game, especially compared to game one, is Shuton's shift in playstyle. He never really got put on that back foot, and whenever he was nearing that disadvantaged state, he was ready to go. He was ready to just jump away, air dodge, whatever it is, and reset back to neutral so that he never got put in that super bad spot. I probably will try out Olimar. I mean, I don't want to say I'll main him because if they change him into a playstyle that I really don't like, then I'm not going to want to play him. Like, I've enjoyed him in Brawl and Smash 4, so I assume I'll still like how he is in Smash 5, and he's definitely going to be my focal point right at the beginning of the game. But who knows? But it's pretty likely that I'll main / play him. Being the best isn't that hard? I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree. It's pretty hard to be the best at anything. So let's see if Hikaru can kind of replicate what he did game 1 against Shuton. Immediately starts out with that dash attack. It's gotten a bit predictable by this third game, though, and I think that's an important thing to notice. And Shuton's definitely caught wind of it. Something that's important to keep in mind is that you've seen through the set is Shuton's adaptation skills are in the top 3 best I've ever seen out of any player ever. Like he's up there with like 0 in terms of being able to adapt on things, and you really see the transition from game 1 to game 2 to game 3 and how it's transitioned. He has perfectly adjusted his playstyle for a lot of these things. So what is really important to beat Shuton is you either have to have such a foolproof plan that there's not really an answer to it, or not a very clear one, or you have to, and this is something that that was noticeable between his 2 sets with 0 at I think West Side Saga or whatever it was. You have to force him through sheer aggression to not. You have to like forcefully put him in a bad spot. There isn't a you get to figure out what to do. It's like there's no figuring out. There's no option, right? It's like you are going to be in disadvantage and you don't have an option. You have to figure out some new method or some new timing to do it, and that's what Zero was able to do. But Hikaru seems to be struggling to do that because the matchup specifically doesn't allow him to get in super well, and Shuton's really pushing that. Ooh, I think that was because weak backer, I think. Oh, I think he accidentally plucked there. Oh, that was a good grab. I think Hikaru was thinking about forward smash, so they ended up going for the grab of the purple. Really tight micro spacing by Shuton, kind of just sitting right outside of the unsafe zone to Donkey Kong. Forward throw. Up throw wasn't gonna kill with that with no rage either, so that was really smart. Try and hit him with the DI mix up. He's just playing the ledge so great right now. He's really giving Donkey Kong a hard time, and this is one of the reasons. Like this, I think this set is a great example of why it's 55-45 Olimar's favor, like slight advantage Olimar's favor, but it can go either way. Shuton really shows how much you can like make this matchup a nightmare for Donkey Kong. Ooh, that was a really good shield break. Oh, Hikaru, you idiot. That was so bad. You should have just killed him. Yeah, it's looking really bad for, oh, such a good grab at a giant punch. Let's see if he can grab him. Oh, that's a good down tilt. I want to see if he'll grab him off the ledge if he does ledge jump. Okay. I did not expect that up air, but that's pretty good. This, I mean, with rage at a ding dong, you could kill him at like 10 on that platform, but on the top platform. But I think he's looking for it, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. Oh, that's a stock. No, no rage. Forgot Donkey Kong was a little too thick. That'll do it. What? Shuton needs to not get greedy right here. Because up throw will definitely kill. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god, that would have killed. Oh my gosh, that was a very close last hit game, and that's kind of rounded out perfectly. It's like, look at the massive deficit, but one grab at the right spot, and Shuton was dying. But I think Shuton really adjusted well after game 1 in that set. and was able to shift his gameplay style to not let Hikaru get any pressure after that game one, and that was really the deciding factor in that matchup. Alright, so now we got Raito versus Shuton. I think the set is like 20-something minutes. This is a good set. So I think Shuton loses this. I don't know the exact details. But generally there's a few important things to note about Duck Hunt. One, if you have a Pikmin on him when he pulls it in the right spot, it will explode the can in his face. In addition to that, Pikmin can explode the can when it's out. Two, Duck Hunt's aerials are really good for cutting through Olimar's options, but his speed isn't. So it's like a, if he gets close, it can be dangerous, but getting him close is where it should be hard. He's got some good shield pressure setups with the gunmen and things like that. Nair's a great option. Duck Hunt's Nair, of course, is a great option because it's a long, lingering sex kick to just kind of like force you to get off of him, things like that. I think Olimar wins this matchup, but you have to play it a very specific way, and you have to understand how to really work around Duck Hunt's options very well. You have to understand how to exploit his lack of speed, his lack of range outside of the projectiles, how to punish him for that, and when you get up close to him, how to pressure advantage very well. So I guess we'll see if Shuton's able to do that. For stages, I think I'd probably ban Town and City and Smashville. Final Destination can go both ways. It can get a little tough at times, but I think I like the distance in case you need it. I think Triplats works well for him, for Olimar. You can juggle Duck Hunt decently well. You can kind of make it hard for him to approach. You can use the platforms to mess up his can pressure, things like that. Lilat, similar way. You know, the tilt can kind of make it hard for him, and you can get some good pressure going on that stage. Are they going Smashville? I have no idea what they're saying, but I'm sure it's very encouraging. They're all very nice people over there. Or so far that I've met. Oh, by the way, this will be uploaded to YouTube. See? Game starts, you already saw throws red. Red immediately explodes can. Luckily, Raito was able to get a little bit of distance between the can and himself, so it didn't hit him. But that's a very important thing that you can use to kind of deter Duck Hunt's pressure with some things in this game, and ways to additionally hinder him. Like when he's off stage, throw the Pikmin on him. Now he can't can, and now, you know, unless he wants to take the hit as well. Just be careful because can's generated frame 1. Very good combo. Unsafe fair. He didn't get the max distance on it, which ended up allowing him to be shield grabbed. Kind of just feeling themselves out right now. You know, they're just playing that back and forth neutral. Raito seems to be getting more off his hits, and I think that's kind of because the can is kind of stopping Shuton from pressuring a little bit harder when it's in the middle of them. But when Raito's getting his hits, it's usually a fair into a fair or something else like that. See, like that, he does a quick aerial right after they both get hit by the can to keep his pressure going. I think Shuton is going to need to, if he's going to win this, he's going to need to not swing at certain times. Similar to how he, oh, that desync, that would have been a dead Raito. Similar to how his set with Hakadama went. Running that fine line between them missing, you know, you slightly sitting right outside their hitbox range, and then making it difficult for them to hit you. Great use of that air dodge into that Nair. Sweet spot Duck Hunt Nair is very strong with the kill move. So you have to be ready for that. So I think what your best bet might be when you're trying to ledge guard duck hunt is sit right at the ledge or go more into where he can't reach you. Because when it's right at the ledge, you're gonna have a hitbox before him, and he won't be able to like go through and air dodge and hit you. So your spacing needs to be very deliberate in certain spots to make it harder for him to punish. Like that, those pigmen will really mess that can up, and that's such an important thing. So I'm hoping Shuton will abuse that. Good back air. Trying to pressure again. Misses the dare. That can be hard to hit. This is Shuton's favorite lineup, I believe, right now. I know, or if not his favorite, it's the most common. Is the red, blue, purple. It gives him a lot of everything he wants. Up throw will kill. Reds are pretty good in this matchup, so I definitely can see why you would stick with this. That down throw, Olimar's down throw, for those who don't know, it is a hitbox around it. So let's say you're in doubles, and you grab one of their partners and you down throw, and you run, and you're their opponent, their partner, your opponent runs in. When it down throws, when it does the suplex thing of it, it has an outward hitbox will hit them as well, and that's why that can actually got popped up and didn't break that throw. So that's pretty good use on Shuton's part. Down throw, up air. He really likes his up airs. Fantastic read. So he knocked Shuton up, and I believe he threatened with that back air, and that ended up forcing him into air dodging. I think generally you have to, yeah. So he jumps, he knocks him away, and then see he turns his back to him, and that's to threaten the back air. And then he air dodges and he falls into the up air. What he should have done. And I don't blame him for air dodging there. It seemed very non-committal at the time. But there are two things he should have done. If he was going to air dodge, he should have gone immediately to the ledge instead of landing on stage, so that he wasn't going to get hit by anything if he did land into the ground. And second, he should have immediately up B'd and gone above and over to the platform. Raito wasn't going to be able to catch him. If he was, it was like a can or a forward air or something. Forward air doesn't kill. Up air wouldn't have been able to catch him because of the height he would have gotten from the up B. And he went for the air dodge route, but unfortunately he landed on stage when he air dodged, and that ended up getting him killed because the last hit of forward smash with duck hunt is rather strong. I anticipate Raito to ban triplat, but I'm not sure. Maybe he might do Lilat. Run back to Smashville. Alright, gets his combo off that throw. Getting grabbed by Raito seems very, Raito is very good, yes. Getting grabbed by Raito seems very, destructive when there's a can out. Oh, that was a good SDI to pop out of that. Should have gone for a grab, I think. That would have been better. This seems like a similar scenario to the beginning of the Hikaru game, where Raito is kind of just like hitting him once, and then and going back to what I said about how Zero beat him and what the real best way to beat Shuton is, starting once and then forcing him to not fight you. You know, you have to put him on that back leg from the get-go and not allow him to ever regain his footing. And I think Raito's doing a fantastic job at that right now. And what Shuton does need to do is literally run away until he can regain his footing, and then approach with a rather unsafe and slow and methodical, not slow and methodical, I guess, but like calculated, you know, not forceful approach. You have to be very careful in how you go about it, or else it's gonna end up costing you big time. That was a good air dodge back. You know, he kind of feigned that he was gonna go in, and then ended up dodging it. Can doesn't kill, thankfully. Great fair, great fair. It's not even, especially with that death, but it was getting there with that rage and a purple and a blue on deck. That kill is coming up rather soon. But now it's a little bit hard. He's 90. Duck Hunt's on the heavier side. So So it can get a bit tough to kill if Raito starts playing very run around and campy. Yeah, he's just sitting back now. Raito's happy to sit back and get his percent lead, and just widen that gap. Shuton's kind of, he's given Shuton time to evaluate what's happening, and how to get his approach in, and I think that's good for both of them. It's like, obviously, if you've got a lead and you're fighting, someone like Shuton or whatever, you don't want to give them any chance to be able to get a kill. But at some point, you have to tell yourself, how comfortable am I with giving him all of this time to evaluate? Am I okay with letting him figure out what to do and things like that? And I think that's going to be a theme of this set and how they go about it. Yes, we are doing an analysis, Koopa Killer. So, he gets the kill there, and now Shuton's running away. He wants to let the invincibility run out. He wants to get his he wants to wait until he can get a hit on him and then get his percent going. Really good fair train right there. Just Raito's back on the offensive, but I think Shuton's kind of got, that was such good STI. Shuton's kind of got an idea on how to go about fighting him a little bit better now. You notice how he was trying to fight a little bit away from that can as well, and I think that, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. No, this is not from EagleCon. This is a set from a Japanese tournament where Shuton's at. He's fighting away from that can as much as he can, because that's one of the best ways to like gimp Duck Hunt's defense and offense, is to make him fight in a way where that's just not an option. Because he loses kind of, not like a get out of jail free card, but an extra get off of me option. If he hits him with a purple forward smash, he's dead on most parts of the stage. That will kill. Oh, no. I think he tried to catch him with that DI mix-up. He's running that fine line. That was hard. That was really good can usage from Raito to immediately shoot it out and then stop it with that shot. And that's one of the tough things against Duck Hunt, is like letting him, or not letting him, hit you with one thing into another thing into another thing, and that's where it's like can into gunman into shot put into fair. You have to be able to go, I got hit by one of them, I need to find a place to go, or I need to get my power shield ready, or I need to stop whatever is coming next. And it was a little difficult with that gunman, so he would need to use a bit more positioning adjustments to stop the pressure, so to say. Maybe retreating to the platform or something. That would have probably forced Raito to either throw a can up there or to approach himself, in which case he still likely would have been fine with shielding, because Duck Hunt wouldn't have been able to do anything except land on the shield and grab him to kill him. But yeah, when you're fighting a character like this, or Toon Link, or Mega Man, or whoever's got a bunch of projectiles that are really frustrating to fight, you have to be able to tell yourself, after you get hit with one or two of them, alright, this is spiraling out of control. I'm getting, not necessarily flustered, but it's forcefully disrupting my flow and my train of thought and my gameplay, like, train, so it needs to stop right now. So that's an important thing to do. But I mean, this set seems to have a lot of time left, so I'm assuming it's a close set. Fatality told you how to go on Diddy. It's a little tough, but Falcon's got speed, so you can definitely work with it. So he goes to Battlefield. I agree with this choice. He wants more verticality to work with, I think. It can help kind of give him an escape option when those projectiles are coming and when Raito is pressuring with fairs or bears or whatever. It can allow him to juggle Raito a little bit better as well, similar to how he did to Hikaru's Donkey Kong. I think the smaller stage will also allow him to get closer on Raito when he wants to, kind of like up close and personal, and do a little bit more fighting, which Shuton's very good at. So that's going to be an important thing to notice if he attempts for that this game. Seems like the goal when fighting Raito is to just not let him grab you at all. Yeah, like in the beginning. That's looking like a free 40 every time. Seems like he's still struggling to get Raito off of him. Oh, that was a fantastic can pull on that the one frame he had. Flood the dash grab. I know it can be very difficult after a jab. Frame traps with the up air into the nair. Shuton just doesn't really seem to know where to go, like how to land. I think, going to the ledge is only helping him so much. He might need to try whistling through some of the single hits, like the can or a back air or something like that, and then regaining his footing and then really putting the pressure up on that. Unfortunately, his lineup's not the best for it. He doesn't have a purple, so that kind of that's unfortunate. So that kind of makes it difficult for him to really get off of me. Like he can still do stuff, of course. With jab and other aerials and stuff like that, but not having that purple is very big. Oh, I didn't know a dash attack into the ledge there. He's maneuvering off stage really good. I think that was a whistle into an up tilt, like a whistle on the can into the up tilt. Let me double check. Yeah, he whistled the can into the up tilt. I probably would have fallen for that same thing. What he likely had to do was drop down, jump, whistle, immediately up B while always going straight up and not drifting in at all, and then try and go up and diagonal past. But even then, that was just a really great read on Raito's part to even to predict that whistle and know the corresponding option for it. He should have a white coming up. Yeah, so you get some damage out with that. And then purple will be next. That'll help the killing. Right now you see Shuton really is trying to press forward. There's not much else he can do except try and pressure. And I think honestly that's the best plan. Like that was a really good up smash read on Shuton's part, but he knows that he's at the disadvantage. This whole game, he's kind of been getting pushed back by Raito, and the only time he's ever had a chance to really fight him is when he can go in. Shuton does his best when he's the one going in, when he's the one forcing you into the bad spot, when he's able to predict your options and threaten you with his presence. And he's able to do that here because Raito's letting him. Raito, once again, like he did that the previous game on Smashville, he's at the percent lead. He's at a kill percent, and he's going to stock up, so he doesn't want to go in, he doesn't want to die. But because he doesn't want to do that, he's letting Shuton be the aggressor. And when you let Shuton be the aggressor, you change the dynamic of the match to now Shuton calls the shots, and doing that is very dangerous. Now Raito's going back in like he should be. That's the effective method he's had for this game so far. Like it's almost night and day the difference between him going in and him not. Like when he goes in, it's just very little Shuton can do. He doesn't know how to handle it. He's never really able to regain his footing. I think just very tight movement is what he needs to be able to be like. Just what happened there? I think Shuton, yeah, he got 3-0'd. Shuton needed to run that really fine line between moving around Raito too far and kind of going, like, here's an example. Look where Raito is he's like under that platform, right? Let's say Shuton's on the ledge. So I'll use my mouse cursor for this. Let's say Shuton's on the ledge, like right here. If he goes, he knows Raito's out here looking for this. So maybe up B and then start going up and above like this, but then immediately rip back, auto cancel, like in there, have it auto cancel. You're landing, he's down there, and then you can either run and dash attack through, cross up on shield, it's likely safe because of your height and the distance at which you dash attack, or if he's still in the air, he's on the platform, jump, rising nair, kind of cover, poke, land, run away, reset back to neutral because you've got all this distance between you and start fighting. I felt like there wasn't enough of that type of movement. That really like a juke heavy, perfect in between spacing. Like I'm going here, just kidding, tricked you, got you with this other spacing, went back. Type of movement and mix-ups that weren't applied consistently through the match that really made him, that really made it, easy for Raito to constantly pick out his options and call them out. So I assume that's all of it. Is the rest just like their ceremony stuff or just the game? Yeah, okay. Projectile. Who's a bigger projectile spammer, Pac-Man or Duck Hunt?